what's going on? This is your guy Travelmatic, and I'm back to you with another great video. And here we are going to do some barbecue with some ribs. Yes, ribs. And I'm going to show you how to cut them, trim them, and season them. We're going to do like a St. Louis style cut. So let's get to it. Let's go. Now, what we have here is pretty much the back side of the ribs. You have the flap, which is already pretty much cut off. You have the breastbone right here, which we're going to cut that off as well. And we're going to pretty much trim a little bit on the front side as well. Trim a little fat right in this area here along the side, that little fat cap. You're going to trim that as well. Just a little bit, because that fat is flavor. Always remember, fat is flavor, but we don't want too much of it on the grill because it will flare up if you have too much fat dripping down on the fire. So what we can do here, we're going to cut this breastbone off, which sometimes that is really hard to cook. It won't cook even because it's a little thicker, dense piece of the rib. And to make it a St. Louis cut, that breastbone is actually cut off. So we're going to cut right along the folded section, cutting through the gristle, which can be a little tough, but just make sure you have a sharp knife to cut that portion off. But you never throw it away because there's meat in there, and we're going to grill that as well. So you want to trim along the sides as well. The point of a St. Louis cut and why it's the best cut for barbecuing is because it's an even cut. When you trim it, the sides, cut the breastbone off, it cooks evenly. So now you won't have to worry about certain pieces of the rib not cooked well and some overcooked, and you can have a nice evenly cooked rack of ribs. Now we're just gonna keep speeding through this, speed this up so we can get through it to the other part. We're gonna turn this around in just a minute. Just gonna trim a little bit more fat off the back side of here. I'm gonna trim this little flap off as well too. I think they previously did that before shipping these ribs. And so here we want to take the membrane, which is always on the back side of the ribs, and want to pull that off. And so that helps with seasoning and marinating when we can pull this membrane off, because it acts as if it's more like a barrier that will block a lot of the seasoning and take a while for it to kind of get through it. But if we pull that off, we can definitely have the seasonings and the rubs to penetrate through the meat, so we can get a good consistent seasoning on the meat. And so just doing a little bit more trimming here, and we're going to flip it over. We're going to trim a little bit, and a little bit more here, and a little bit more here. And let's just speed up through this here a little bit. And so just trim a little bit more here. And you don't have to make sure that all the fat is trimmed off. Like I said before, that's where your flavor definitely comes from, in the fat. Also keeps the meat nice and moist as well. And we just keep trimming and keep trimming, kind of tying down the loose ends here. Check the back. Okay, so now we're about to season the ribs. And in recording this video, I did miss the rub portion, but I will include it right here at the top. I will also include it at the end of this video. It will be a video of my 11 spice blend pork rub. Great video I did on that, that you can use, and you can use this on anything, like I said, pork, chicken, any type of game meat. So it's a great rub. I definitely would recommend it. It'll definitely make your food taste way better than these store-bought pork rubs. They have a lot of other products, but also don't forget the Zatarain's Creole mustard. This will set your ribs off. I put it on my ribs and my chicken. The Zatarain's Creole mustard. Put a little bit of that, rub it in. That is gonna make that seasoning stick to those ribs. Let it marinate for like 12 hours overnight, and you're gonna be hurting them, man. You're gonna be hurting them. That mustard helps break down the fat, tenderizes it, gives it great flavor. It's just magic. It's just magic, along with the rub. Boy, I'm telling you, you're gonna be winning contests. You're gonna be winning those contests. And don't forget, we still gonna use these pieces right here. We don't throw no stuff away. I'm from South Carolina, baby. We make things work. But definitely, I hope you enjoyed this video. Now come with me and let's work some magic on this grill, and let's smoke these babies. And I'm out.